The inspiration for the title of the book comes from Mark 5, verse 34, where the words are, "Daughter, your faith has made you whole." And that was what stood out to us when we were thinking of doing this project and doing this book. And so, right in the context of the Gospel of Mark, it talks about faith and wholeness. And if you read the whole chapter of Mark 5, it's filled with stories of healing and help, where God touched lives. The demonic man, the woman with the issue of blood, Jairus' daughter. That's what surrounds this little nugget, your faith will make you whole. So does God care about wholeness and wellness? Yes, he does.
I'd like to talk to you a little bit about our mission with the Your Whole Life program. And this really dovetails with my mission as a dietitian for the last 35 years. In fact, we put the mission statement on my website, and it really is the same one that Carol and I have, to inform and inspire people to eat better, lead healthier lifestyles, become more fit, and become whole and healthy. And we really view this as a journey. And of course, this is the title of your conference today. Being healthy, eating right is not a destination. It's a journey that never ends. And we need to adjust at various points in our lives. And I'll be talking a little bit more about that later. We believe the journey can be positive, proactive, very practical.
It's so easy when you start to talk about health or food that it looks negative. It looks like, oh no, not another diet program. That's about the last thing any of us need. I've talked recently to several groups, and literally the women have come up and said, I am burnt out thinking about dieting and food. I am totally burnt out. But she said, what I hear you talking about, I'm eager to begin, is to look at my whole life. So it's extremely important that you look forward and not backward. Because it's so easy for us as women to always think of what we should have done or what we could have done. As Maggie and I were talking a little while ago, I said, you know, I look back at my scrapbooks and I look at my family pictures, and I thought I was heavy then. You know, have you had that experience? You look back and you say, oh, I didn't like the way I looked at 25, and I didn't like the way I looked at 30. Now I look and say, oh, for those days, yeah, I'm pretty good. But if we stay in that kind of mentality that it was better back then, or I looked better, or anything like that, we don't take the presence of God, which we have for this day, to change our direction in life. This is the day, this is the beginning. Today is a whole new journey, and it's going to start right here.
And I think one of the traps of looking back and thinking about what you weighed, or looking at a picture, you know, maybe your wedding picture, your high school graduation picture, none of us probably should look the same as we did then. And I think we need to be more realistic about what our goals are. And of course, I hear the same thing that Carol hears from women when they walk into my office and they say, I'm going to tell you right away, I've been on every diet there is. I've been on the Atkins and South Beach, I've been on the no food diet, I've been on liquid diets. And the fact is they don't work because someone is dictating what you should eat. And we believe that this really should be based on wellness and how healthy you can be. And I think, you know, what I'm using for measurements are things like we make your blood pressure better, and we help you maybe be on less medication if you have diabetes, or lower your cholesterol. Those are really the things we like to focus on. And in fact, as Carol knows, in my office, we hide the scale over in the corner. It's very low profile.
Whenever we get interviewed and for a magazine or for some other media contact, the question always comes, does God really care about what I weigh? Does he care about what I weigh? And I say loudly, and this has been part of my life, had the joy of starting the very first Christian diet program 35 years ago. It was called 3D, Diet, Discipline, and Discipleship. It was a real privilege and a joy that I had of starting that work. But it was also a little bit of a curse, because for the rest of my life I had to think about what people thought about me if I wasn't thin enough.
You want to be a dietitian.
Yeah, we both feel that pressure, but I'm always excited to say, no, I really don't think God cares about what I weigh. I do think He cares when I'm so obsessed about what I weigh. I do think He cares when the scale dictates my mood of the day. I do think He cares when I'm discouraged about who I am. I think all of that, if I have an overemphasis on such a thing as food, takes away from my main purpose, my main goal, my mission, to be a woman of God.